And today we have the founder and CEO of Smart Venture Media. Grace started her career in real estate investing and wrote 2 top-selling Amazon venture capital books, along with 2 top VC podcasts, Venture with Grace and the Smart Venture Podcast.
So I moved to the Bay Area. I work at this real estate company that they were in China. They built like some of the biggest life science campus of the big tech company there. I started like meeting a lot of entrepreneurs. So I started like interviewing people for my book. And then I kind of like broke into VC through some of the connections I've made through the book.
How did that help, started your own career in VC?
Like, so it's like being a founder, I think like sales or like storytelling strategy is like very, very important. Bing Gordon said this on the book that basically he said when he was younger, he would do these like, let's call it like pizza nights or something. So like nowadays, like I started doing dinners, which Fondo has been such an amazing part of our journey. So you can like kind of like learn from other people on what they're doing as well.
And I think a lot of startups today are trying to break through the noise. How do you think about building community for your company, and how would you advise founders on how they can do that?
Such a not rehearsed answer because I actually feel like it's...
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Startup Growth Podcast. I'm your host, David, the founder and CEO of Fondo. And today we have the founder and CEO of Smart Venture Media, Grace Gong. Thank you so much for joining us today. Grace started her career in real estate investing here in the Bay Area and wrote 2 top-selling Amazon venture capital books and broke into venture. She's been a VC, angel investor, and now runs Smart Venture Media, along with 2 top VC podcasts, Venture with Grace and the Smart Venture Podcast. Welcome, Grace.
Thank you so much. Should I clap for myself? I want to be that person.
Yes,
but
I love it.
Anyway, I'm so excited for this conversation because you're so funny on the internet.
God.
It's like, yeah, you have the Twitter game down. And also I heard some rumors that maybe another account is AI.
We might have some AI accounts floating out there.
I was like, those are so funny because I couldn't tell if they're AI or not. And I stared at the picture. I was like, is it Jason Calacanis or Jim or both?
It's a hybrid. It's an AI photo of both.
I know, it was so good.
Thanks to Grok. Well, awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining, Grace. Yeah, would love to start just like breaking into venture. What was that like for you? Because when you moved to the Bay Area, you were in real estate finance and broke into venture. So yeah, would love to hear your story there.
So yeah, totally. I don't think I've ever shared even on my own podcast. So I moved to the Bay Area. I work at this real estate company that they were in China. They built like some of the biggest life science campus of the big tech company there. And in here, so they were acquiring some buildings. So I was their first hire on the team. So doing things from like translating meetings to actually setting up their office, to like helping them finding the legal and accounting firms and wink wink. And then yeah, just like setting up their office. And through that journey, I started like meeting a lot of entrepreneurs. So some of the entrepreneurs I met happened to be like Teal Fellow, and then they happened to be on the Forbes 30 under 30. And at that point, I really wanted to be an entrepreneur myself. So I started like interviewing people for my book. It's kind of similar to the podcast era, but it was like more non-digital back then. So like I put together a book, interviewed 21 founders on Forbes 30 at the beginning. And then the second year I did a book on 22 investors on the Forbes Midas list. And then I kind of like broke into VC through some of the connections I've made through the book.
Wow. And so as you were interviewing these Midas list VCs, how did that help as you started your own career in VC? Was it something that helped you, that gave you any insights that you didn't know already going into it?
Yeah, so much insights. Like I would summarize into 2. So like, because of like, I would assume all the founders that are listening, but I think like one is like, I think back in time, I didn't even know like what venture capital was. Like I just heard that they have money. So I was like, oh, if I need to raise money, I probably need to know these people. But I think back then I think there was just 2 lessons. One is like, I remember I was like chatting with, this is like actually a person who's actually not on the book. He is on the Midas list. He was just like, I feel like he was doing me a favor just to chat with me. And then he basically said that he started his career as a salesperson for one of the tech companies and then eventually breaking into venture. I feel like a lot of the venture game is sales. So so it's like being a founder, I think like sales or like storytelling strategy is like very, very important. And that's number one lesson. And then the other lesson is like um Bing Gordon said this on the book that when he was younger, Bing Gordon is the board observer for Amazon who worked at KPCB as a partner for many years. And he's like one of the top investors in the world. And then basically he said when he was younger, he would do these like, let's call it like pizza nights or something. So like, so all the peers that are working in adjacent industry or not even in the same industry would like sit together and like share notes on things. And that like really resonated with me because like I think I was that age, and then I feel like I started like nowadays like I started doing dinners, which Fondo has been such an amazing part of our journey, which I'm very thankful for. And I feel like just putting together all the talented people in one room and then keep sharing these like lessons with each other, being behind like closed doors is like very, very um important, both from like a mental health perspective that you find uh relatability to other people, but also like from like a strategic perspective as well, so you can like kind of like learn from other people on what they're doing as well.
Wow. And sort of fast forward, you're doing your own investments, I guess today as an angel investor. So how do you approach investing as an angel, now so many years after writing the book?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. It's such a good question. I think the number one ability is like, I think there's two, right? So it's just like, are you a great, do you have like any technical mode in this product? And then the other part is like, can you sell this product? And so I think maybe I would say maybe the first four, like the first three, I was like investing in like friends and stuff. So like my check are very, very tiny. I would like say this on the podcast, but yeah, it's like very tiny. And then I think the first three are like friends or like friend of friends, or like, yeah, people that I kind of like highly trust, I know. And I think the fourth one is actually my audience. So like I started streaming. And then I saw someone commenting something really smart, and I like DM him. I'm like, hey, any feedback for the pod? And then that lead to like a great conversation, and I helped them introduce them to their first customer, and it happened to be the customer. So like I was like, oh, maybe you should chat with this guy, and then they chat with this guy and then landed as a customer. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should invest. So that was that. So yeah, it was
Wow.
like a very interesting journey. I think it's like two things. One is like, can this person sell? And then the other part is like the technical ability part. Like, do they have technical mode, or is there some like major technical shift that towards like playing in favor of this company or this industry? What about you? Can I ask you
Oh yeah,
questions?
please feel
I'm
free.
such a podcaster. I can't
Yeah,
not.
I mean, similar friends. I think,
Can I
one.
say what you have invested in?
Yeah, sure.
Like, for example, Liquid Death. I was like, even they were in front of me, I'd probably be like, oh my God, no way. But I think it was really interesting. But
I think, yeah, no, it was just, I just always thought their stuff was hilarious.
Mhm.
And their marketing is sort of genius. And
Mhm.
like, there's always, I feel like, yeah, there's always ways that these founders and companies stand out,
Mhm.
because building a company is so hard,
Mhm.
and proving that you can stand out in some way
Mhm.
is a good signal.
Mhm.
So whether that's through, yeah, through marketing,
Mhm.
or ability to sell, or the
Mhm.
product is just really good.
Mhm.
Yeah, standing out is just, it seems obvious, but standing out is a big thing.
Yeah.
So,
You guys stand out. Like, I feel like Fondo really got it down in like the YC
thank you,
community
great.
and then making accounting hot. Literally, I
We're
mean,
trying.
this is not a commercial, but I'm a big fan of the company for sure. I feel like one of the things about like these, most people like ignore the traditional like industry, but like you guys like really did it really well. That make it fun and then interesting. I feel like,
Yeah,
yeah,
thank you. I
with
mean, I
the
think,
Fondo stocks.
yeah, we got to make it
Controversial
fun.
opinion. I like the Fondo stocks. Yeah.
Accounting is really fun. People love to talk about it. So
Mhm.
you'll see that's why we don't talk about that too much.
Mhm.
But we definitely are experts in it. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
we try to get people on people's radar with good
Mhm.
content, interviewing great people, trying to make funny jokes on X. And yeah, just let people know that Fondo exists, so that when they
Mhm.
need help, they know that we exist and we can support them.
You know what? I also like listen to your podcast with other people about like how you kind of pivoted. It was something else. It was creator economy stuff,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And then it became founded by you call some accounting firm to be like, hey, you want to do these people's taxes?
Yes.
And then it's like a thing.
It was a big pivot, yeah, from marketing to accounting. But I love
Mhm.
accounting. I've been an accountant. I started as an accountant, yeah, almost 20 years ago, and so I love I've had a deep love for accounting over the
Oh my
years, and
God.
so finally started a company to help other companies get their
Yeah. And
accounting
then,
done.
like, I don't know if people know this. You were like a second time founder. You were very
Hmm.
successful when you first went too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Grace.
Well, yeah. I'm waiting for
Thanks for the
the
shout out.
I'm waiting for the pod to happen. But yeah.
I know. I'd love to. Well, we'll definitely do that. But yeah, I want to talk a little bit about building community
Yeah.
because with your current company, you've built this amazing community of both founders and investors. And I think a lot of startups today are trying to break through the noise,
Mhm.
right? And try to stand out.
Mhm.
How do you think about building community for your company, and how would you advise founders on
Mhm.
how they can do that?
Oh my God. I think the building community. This is such a not rehearsed answer because I actually feel like it have to happen like somewhat organically. I think because I've been podcasting since like the pandemic, I think I definitely had an attempt to build online community first because during the crypto era, I had my own like crypto group of people that like just like other people who are posting on LinkedIn about crypto. And I would do these like 5 p.m. Friday calls with people and that they just join on a Zoom chat and then we become friends. Even to
Mhm.
today's like last week I was like I was like moderating like a VC pitch night. Like the VCs who are pitching founders at the at a club like with robot fights. I was like, I don't
Oh
know how
my
to
gosh, I
describe.
saw that. That looked really
Yeah, I
fun.
was there. And then even that, like our community member was there. Like so I would like host these like 5 p.m. crypto chats with people. And then some of the like people started their own company through the group. And then
Wow.
some people become like advisor for other people's company. And there's also one guy, he lived in Italy and then he joined every Friday, 5 p.m. PT, which is his 2 a.m. He joined every
Wow.
day, every time, every week. So I feel like it's just like kind of like organically happen. Though like I feel like crypto is not that much of a thing these days. Like it is still a very popular category of things, but like I think people talk about AI a lot more. But it kind of like slows down. So I decided to build like real life community. I really want people to kind of meet other people. So a lot of the times I feel like people think about you, they don't think about like, you know, your podcast or what you're talking about. They think about like what they can benefit from it. So like if you can create these like points that they kind of like find value in the group or like they find value IRL, they will like keep on coming so the community kind of organically grow bigger.
Hmm. And when you start IRL, like you're starting from scratch. So
Yeah.
how did you get your first event together with get founders to show up?
Oh my God. The first event was probably last year, February, maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, last year, February. That was my first event. So at Conviviality Ventures office with Microsoft for Startup was our amazing sponsor. Shout out to Microsoft for Startup. And it was another bank that I think the banker Flockstar Bank,
Mm.
they kind of like my so like my point of contact now is like a different bank. And yeah, like they were amazing supporters. Like I think they're really amazing. I started with just like inviting a lot of people from our podcast to come. And then some people also reach out to be on the podcast. And then like I kind of like wanted to meet them. Like they seems like really cool people. I just like back in time I didn't really have the bandwidth to like edit more than one episode per week because I was spending 7 or 10 hours on one episode just solely editing. And
Mm.
some people's like, for example, if they have a book, I would listen to the whole book
Wow.
before like coming on the pod. And so it was like a lot. And so now it's like it's live, so I don't like skip the editing part. So I don't know. Yeah.
Wow. And so, you kind of went through this writing your book.
Yeah.
Um, how many guests have you had now across your shows?
Maybe like 500 something,
You've had
five,
over
600.
600 guests.
Yeah.
How do you approach getting guests on your show? You've had some incredible guests, and yeah, what advice do you have on how to get great guests?
This is something that everyone asks me. I would say I am lucky because of like I started during the pandemic. Okay, so going back to the book era, right? So like I started just asking the book people, hey, do you want to come on my podcast? And then everybody come on my podcast, and then I started there. So it's kind of like a one step,
Mm,
just like just trying to make it forward. So like for you, obviously you have such a great network. Like every day I see Fondo was like another YC company just joined Fondo. So maybe I feel like for you guys, it's definitely I would tap into the existing clients network and then like giving them a feature and then like start there and then branch out to like other YC companies and then maybe other companies in general or investors because they have
mm.
other portfolio companies as well.
Oh yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then how do you get their attention, right? How do you get the Bing Gordon to be featured in your book when you're just starting out?
Yeah, I think at the beginning there was just like a lot of hustle. Like you have to, I think it's a combination of like you show up IRL and then it's another part is like you send cold email. So like um people, I think a lot of times it's like people on their resume that you can also provide people value. So a lot of the younger people always ask me, oh, or like even I, when I was a younger person, I always ask like the very successful executive on our show. I'm like, hey, what value can I provide to you that like make you want to be here, chat with me, or like continuously be my friend. And then it always goes back to like I think the value is like both sided. So like you are offering, for example, you are offering me a platform to tell my own story, right? So like I think just being like mindful or like being thoughtful about like you are also offering value to other people as well. Like you are offering them a platform to your audience, although maybe when everybody start, not everybody start with a huge audience. And then I feel also very fortunate because a lot of people have the paying forward mindset in the Silicon Valley because a lot of people, everybody at some point got like helped by someone, right?
Yes.
So I feel like a lot of the mentality in Silicon Valley also helps to get the best guest.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure at the beginning it was they try to help me, but I think being lucky is to like also um helping them promote them as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so, okay, so you did your first event last
Mhm.
February, and then just a few weeks ago, you did the Smart AI Summit, which had
Mhm.
hundreds of founders and investors. How did that come together, and how did you approach it? How did you approach launching that compared
Mhm.
to the early days of the other events?
I felt like it was so surreal because like this past year we've done probably like 13 dinner and then 2 conferences. And then obviously a lot of the dinners are with Fondo, which is I'm very
Thank you,
thankful.
Grace. We love
Um,
partnering with you for dinners.
Thank you. I think the bigger events is just more of like I think a lot of the people are trying to meet other people, right? So if you're inviting to a dinner, I typically try to curate the dinner a lot just to make sure that like people are getting a lot of value from like-minded individual or like people in their industry. So there's some sort of a theme towards it. So like people can have common ground in general. I think for the bigger events, it's like our audience is also growing and just to like making sure that I wanted to kind of have touch points with audience RL. Like I personally can't just like have 15 coffee chat every day to like make sure that like we're on like I also get to know some people. So I kind of like wanted to create that RL experience for people to both learning from the leaders in tech as well as like just like meeting each other. I think a lot of it, it's just like people just want to meet other people who are interested in this or like starting a company and investing and then from just like around the world.
Mm-hmm,
And so I decided to start that kind of IRL experience.
mm-hmm.
And it was also very inspired by like all the VC firms, right? So like I feel like I maybe this is recency bias, but like I'm a big fan of like Majona I-40 Summit. Shout out to them. So I was just in Seattle yesterday. I just came back yesterday, and they basically in each year they invite like a bunch of top investors and founders to got together in Seattle. So I just met Parag, who was a former CEO Twitter, and like some other like top executives and like CSO of OpenAI was there, and it was like a very curated experience. It was very like the room is like not it's like big enough for people to come, but like also small enough that like it's very relevant to the current tech ecosystem and community. So I kind of wanted to create that experience for I wouldn't say my younger self because older people are welcomed, but like I think it's just like people who are trying to get that kind of experience basically.
And so when you were planning the Smart AI Summit, um, how did you think about that? Did you say, okay, I want to have 200 founders and VCs. I want to have, I need to lock in this venue. I mean, there's just so many moving parts to launch
Sure.
a successful conference. What advice do you have for people on how to launch a successful conference?
I think like it really depends on like I think I really focus on like what I would want basically from like a very selfish standpoint. It's like if I go to a place, I think the most important thing is like the people, and you can chat GPT the rest. Like
Mm.
because technically I think like a lot of it is like who you want to meet and then who will like make moves a lot of needles to your towards like your to help your business succeed basically. I think a lot of that is think about curate a group of people of like each person can benefit from meeting other people, whether it's investors or founders. I think a lot of it was that, and the rest will come. Like the rest is like very painful to plan. Like I would say, it's like it's logistic nightmare. Like every single day. So I was on vacation. I was in Hawaii. I did not leave my hotel. I went to the same grocery store to eat every day. People think I'm like, people gave me the are you okay look the whole time. And the pigeons were like, at the beginning, the pigeons will like fly onto me. And then in the end, the pigeons are sick of my food. So they're gone. It was so bad. But yeah, I was like literally working until like 2 a.m. because I'm just me. So it's like, I'm a very tiny team. It's like me, ChatGPT, and like, yeah, basically that. So
Wow.
it was very intense, I would say. But
Wow.
we need to make FoundoCon happen.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I feel like, I feel like one thing's like you guys have some of the really fun clients too.
We love working with great startups. Yeah, similar to
Mhm,
you. I mean, I've just your events are great because you really do curate the group
mhm,
that's there. It's
mhm.
always really great founders and really great investors.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, what's one of your favorite stories that have come out of one of your just out of your community?
Mhm. Oh, I constantly hear about like people talk about, oh, they met like XYZ investor and then they like had full on a call, or like sometimes people invest and stuff like that. So like that is something I'm like very excited to hear myself. I'm like, oh, okay, so can I say damn on this show? But yeah, I'm like,
Yes.
damn, oh my God, I could have, put attention myself. But like, yeah, so basically sometimes like, yeah, like it's because of like people are sitting on one end, like this is a problem I'm gonna fix. But there's like people who are sitting on this end and I'm sitting on this end, and then like I didn't even hear any conversation. And then the next day they're like, oh, by the way, like I think we just closed our round with like this guy. I'm like, really? This guy was there? But it was like no,
That's
it was
amazing.
never like this guy was there. But I was like, oh, okay. So I like completely like because I was like sitting so far ahead. So like I'm really glad that like that happens at the dinners. And I think one of the stories, what are the story? Oh my God. I think like I just think like it's so interesting to hear the behind the scene of like how people are building some stuff. Like it's like, you know, on paper or online, everyone seems like very put together and very funny. But in the end, I feel like a lot of people are like ChatGPT everything. So yeah, it's just kind of
Yes.
like lowering your mental mindset
Mm-hmm.
for yourself to like allow yourself to like do certain things. I think one of the biggest takeaway for me was like I would be so like because I'm non-technical. I mean, I'm admitting on this show I'm non-technical. It's like very scary for me to build a technical product, but because I've been doing these dinners and I'm like I can vibe code, I feel like it just significantly gain your like confidence level of how you approach technology, and we were just chatting about like um how to build like a media company and stuff, right? So like I think one of the things is like I've been thinking about just like leveraging AI, right? Like think about like the next generation of TechCrunch and stuff like that. So I don't think it's gonna be like a guy who's like writing article all day. I think a lot of it will come from AI. And then yesterday, I think my biggest takeaway from the Magellan AI 40 was, um, I think in the past people were selling to human, but now people are selling to agents. Um, you know, it like your any tool that you're building, like the agent will decide to purchase or not in the future. And then the
Mm,
agents probably don't need like a really fun interface. Like, nowadays, like I feel like UX and UI is like very crucial and critical for human being. But the agent facing tools, like, do they really need that? So like it's kind of,
mm,
like I was like, oh my God, that's like a lot to think about. So yeah,
mm-hmm,
I've been thinking about that
mm-hmm.
since yesterday.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. I do think it is. That is going to be a crazy world. I mean, do you think that's in the next year or the next 5 years or the next 10
It
years?
is like yesterday. So I
Mm,
feel like it's like people are always like emphasizing on the now part. Just because I think it just everything moves so fast. And then I also wanted to say like so last week I was at Snowflake. So the Snowflake CEO and Andrew Ning both had like different panels. And then I think everyone's really emphasized on build. So every employee at your team should be building stuff. Like, and then if they're not leveraging AI tools today or like building things on their own, um, they're gonna be left behind. So there's like only builder and non-builder. So like that kind of like I haven't really digested really well as like what am I supposed to build? Like am I supposed to build like all the AI tool I need to use for my business like from scratch today? Or like am I supposed to buy certain things and like ensemble them together, use like an in or something? Like those are the stuff that I'm thinking about every
mhm,
day. But I feel like my current big bet is like not on me like writing stuff, but more of like, what can we do to build the next generation of like successful media company to get attention without breaking the bank.
mhm. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So where can we find you online?
You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm a Yap every day. So it's called Grace Gong, just my name. And then my podcast is called Smart Venture Podcast and Venture with Grace online. So they're on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, everywhere. And then I'm also on Twitter. It's under Grace Gong GG and Instagram, Grace Gong CEO.
Awesome. Grace, thank you so much for joining us today. We have to do this again soon.
Yes. Thank you so much, David.